I cannot believe what we just witnessed. Two players in particular have stood out during today's first preseason game, but will either of them make the team? I break it all down in just a moment on another sizzling edition of Rangers Digest. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. We're built for Blue Shirt fandom, and I am your host, Bret Botfeld. It is great to be back with you guys on this sunny Sunday, the 21st of September, and guys, the Rangers just wrapped up their first preseason game of the season, and we got the dub. We got the W 5-3. So we have a lot to break down here today, folks. But before we do that, a quick reminder that about 77% of you who currently watch these videos are still unsubscribed to the channel. So please go down below and hit that free subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers, because this is the place to be for all your daily New York Rangers content. But not only that, guys, so you could be part of something special here at Rangers Digest. Let's waste no more time and start breaking down this W. Alright, guys, so from Molly Walker, this was the lineup that the Rangers went into the game with against the Devils. A couple notable things here, guys. The first one is you can see Scott Morrow buried on that third pair on the blue line. And this is a negative, guys. This is not good when it comes to his chances of making the team. And the reason that is because if you look at this entire lineup, you look at the forwards, you look at the defensemen, you look at the starting goaltenders, Scott Morrow is playing with maybe only one or two starters that will make the opening night roster. Probably only one. So for Scott Morrow to be buried on that third pair, not a good sign for his chances of making the team. But luckily for him, he did have a very good game today and continues to impress throughout training camp. Another thing, good to see Jonathan Quick and Dylan Garand playing. Some encouraging signs from Jonathan Quick. Looked very good today. Allowed one goal. Dylan Garand looked sharp for the most part, but he did allow 2 goals. Save percentage was under 900. But the Rangers need a lot out of these two guys. And the reason that is, we all understand Jonathan Quick probably is last year. He's going to retire after this season, but he has to produce this year. Igor Shesterkin played in far too many games last season, 62 games. Not only that, faced the most shots in the entire NHL, but the Rangers have done a good job this offseason bringing in players that will block shots. So hopefully Igor will face less shots, and also Jonathan Quick hopefully will be able to produce at a better rate than he did last year. Not necessarily the 2023-24 Jonathan Quick, but he has to be better than he was last year. Started off good last year and really fizzled out down the stretch. But let's get into some more stuff here. This is from Mike on X. Gabe Perreault. Gabe Perreault scored the first goal of the preseason for the Rangers, and man, it was impressive. You can see here from Mike, Gabe Perreault is finding his footing at the pro level fast. You wonder whether the Rangers will have him in Hartford or call him up early. He's making an early case to be on the NHL roster. So guys, something that's interesting about Gabe Perreault, we saw him last year in just 5 games, a small sample size, but really looked overmatched, looked out of place. The compete level was there, but he was going up against, very good teams, very good skaters, guys like Nikita Kucherov. So, very difficult to go up against opponents like that. But he did look out of place. Even in rookie camp. In rookie camp, he did not really produce. He had 1 point on an empty netter where he scored a goal. But he did start to pick up momentum, especially in training camp. He was looking very fast, looking very, like a game wrecker that we expect Gabe Perreault to be. But today, scoring that first goal from the slot, going top shelf, he looked excellent, guys. He was fast. He was moving great in the open ice. He was making terrific passes, and he was able to cap it off with that first goal, which put the Rangers up 1-0. And he is really trying to make a case to make this team. But I have no problem starting him in the AHL. Let's not forget, he's had a great career in college, a great prospect, but has never played a full professional season. Only 5 games at the pro level. Still hasn't played in the AHL. So I would have no problem seeing him start in Hartford, calling him up when he's ready. But he is certainly making a case here to make the team, no doubt about that. Then you have this from Molly Walker, Matt Rempe. He forced his way to the net, put the puck on goal before Dylan Roobroeck cleans it up, putting the Rangers up 2-1. Now, Matt Rempe is another player on this roster. We should expect him to be on that identity fourth line. I know a lot of Rangers fans don't want to see him in the top 12, but I expect him to play with Adam Edstrom, with Sam Carrick on that fourth line. And we know that Matt Rempe put on 12 additional pounds this summer. He looked very aggressive in this game, crashing the net. And as you can see, it led to an opportunity for Dylan Roobroeck to put the Rangers up 2-1. And you guys know how I feel, about Dylan Roobroeck. He is a very stable center. You know, we've spoken about Noah Laba here on the channel a lot, and the ceiling that he has, the type of impact and noise he's been making in training camp. But when it comes to Dylan Roobroeck, we cannot sleep on this individual. He is a towering guy, 6'7", over 200 pounds. He produces on the offensive end when he has the opportunity. He is a good two-way center, and we can't sleep on him. I understand that Noah Laba has the higher ceiling, no doubt about it. I love Noah Laba, and there is a real shot that we see him give Juuso Parssinen a run for his money to grab that third-line center spot. But do not sleep on Roobroeck. He has impressed me in the AHL, and he looked very good in this game too. Now, Connor Sheary, guys. Connor Sheary, this is from Vince Mercogliano. This is another name we will have to watch. You hear it here from Vince. Sheary is another guy we'll have more on this week. He's been solid so far in camp and has the trust factor with Sullivan. He should be on everyone's radar as a sleeper candidate to make the roster. If so, would it come at the expense of a young winger? Guys, we know the history between Sullivan and Sheary. Not the flashiest guy, obviously getting older. Hasn't been productive at the NHL level in quite a few years. But let's not forget, he won 2 Stanley Cups under Mike Sullivan. The Rangers have the right leadership off the ice, but Connor Sheary may be that leader on the ice that Mike Sullivan wants to utilize, so we cannot sleep on him, especially after scoring a nifty goal in today's game. And something else we can't forget about, he's a left winger. So Vince brings up a great question. Would it come at the expense of a young winger? Would it come at the expense of a Bret Botfeld or Brennan Othmann on that third line left wing? It probably would, guys. It probably would. And I'm willing to give Bret Botfeld a shot to play a full season, especially now that he's healthy, stronger, faster. We saw him put up 10 points in 35 regular season games last year, and that was with a torn labrum. I love what he brought to the table. He was an Energizer bunny. But, you know, Connor Sheary making this team, you know, it may come at the expense at a player like Bret Botfeld. And, you know, if Connor Sheary continues to turn heads here, he's going to give him a run for his money. Something else we have to keep an eye on, Molly Walker. Connor Sheary's wearing an A for the New York Rangers today despite being on a PTO, and he probably will be for the rest of these 5 preseason games. And I just spoke about it. Sullivan, that leader off the ice, but Sheary, those 2 Stanley Cups he has produced at the NHL level before, seems to be revitalized under Sullivan. We cannot sleep on this guy. We have to watch him very closely. And, you know, Connor Sheary continuing to stick around here. Now, Scott Morrow put the Rangers up 4-1 in this game. You can see her here from Joseph on X. Pulls back the shot and fires a shot through a screen and gets by Dawes, putting the Rangers up 4-1. This was not an easy shot from Scott Morrow. He shot it in between traffic, in between the circles. Something else that's encouraging is Scott Morrow was featured on the first power play unit for the Rangers. And I've said it time and time again on the channel that I love his offensive upside. I love that he's been developing on the defensive end in the D zone. But make no mistake about it, Adam Fox is the quarterback on the first power play unit. I truly believe that Scott Morrow has a chance to be a quarterback on that second power play unit. We've heard Braden Schneider because of his offensive game, but don't sleep on Scott Morrow as well. I really like how he's able to calmly control the puck, and he is definitely a contender to be a quarterback on that second power play unit if he makes the team, guys. These next 5 games for him are going to be crucial on whether or not he makes the team. Something else I want to get into, Johnny Brzezinski. getting the Rangers' 5th goal. This is from Blue Collar Blue Shirts talking about Brzezinski continues to have a nose for the puck and hustles. Just don't know if he fits on a healthy team that should be rebuilding. Guys, Brzezinski, you know the leadership he brings to the table. You know that players love him. He's got a nose for the puck. He's always hustling. He's got the compete level that you love. He's got that will and want to be great. The interesting thing about him is he's 32 years of age and he's coming off his best season in the NHL. Didn't have success with the Kings, didn't have success with the Sharks, but he was good for the Rangers last year. A +6, 19 points, very productive. But the problem is he plays center and right wing. I don't see an opening for him on that 3rd or 4th line. But if the Rangers plan on making the playoffs this season, which I believe they will, having a leader and a guy that could produce when his number is called, like Johnny Brzezinski, makes for a perfect 13th forward. That's how I view him for a playoff contender, and I believe the Rangers will be that. Don't see a spot for him on that 3rd or 4th line, but there was a lot of encouraging things here today, guys. I spoke about the young guns, Gabe Perreault, Scott Morrow, and these next 5 games, these next 5 preseason games until the season starts on October 7th at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to be crucial. They are going to be absolutely essential if Gabe Perreault and or Scott Morrow want to make this team. Leave your comments down below. I really like what I saw from the Rangers today in that 5-3 win. A great way to start the preseason, get the vibes going, and what better way to do it than to beat the New Jersey Devils. You know we love that. Leave your comments down below. How'd you feel about the game? Who are you looking forward to watching next game? Give us a follow on X as well if you haven't. It's in the description at Rangers Digest YT. And if you haven't hit that free subscribe button, hit that button so you can stay up to date with everything happening New York Rangers.